I'm Nick Garnett. This is Mo Salah. Football is life.
Salah wins it again. Salah's through. Shoot!
Because of Salah, Egypt is on the map. So he helped put Egypt on the map of world football.
Mo Salah, he gave us hope. You can achieve your dream. He's a role model. You can be whatever you like to be successful.
He's not born like a star, okay? He worked to be a star.
I love him with all my heart, and I want my son to grow like him.
Welcome to Liverpool. This is the city I grew up in Penny Lane to be exact. I went to school here, at Mospits Lane County Primary, not far from Anfield where the football club play. Back then my childhood heroes were the greats, Kevin Keegan, Emlyn Hughes and later Kenny Dalglish and Ian Rush. Today, however, the pupils here have a new hero, Mohamed Salah.
He's the best player in the world. As soon as he gets the ball, you think he's either going to score or create just something magic. It's boss when he gets the ball, especially when he's in the attacking half. He can do anything, like anything he wants. He goes with his family in Egypt every time he has the chance to, because he loves his family so much. He's the Egyptian king of the world.
But Mo Salah is unlike any of the Liverpool players who've gone before. He grew up playing on the dirt pitches of his hometown north of Cairo, a Muslim who performs sujood, praying openly on the pitch when he scores a goal. And he does score a lot of goals.
Ball breaks to Mane, through to Salah. Salah into the penalty area. It's 1-0. Just 2 minutes played at Anfield.
40 goals for the season. The first to do that for Liverpool since Ian Rush.
Salah wins it again. Salah's through. Salah's for Liverpool. What an ending here at Anfield. Absolutely astonishing.
In the past year, I've watched Salah break records and win almost every award going. But I've also seen him do something different. I've seen him help break down boundaries of prejudice, religion and nationality. I've seen him become a hero, not just here at my old school, but across the city, across the country and beyond, right across the Middle East. In fact, despite all his achievements with a football, I wonder if his influence off the pitch has been bigger than his impact on it. This, I think, may be the real Mo Salah story. So I went looking for it, from those who worship him.
Mohamed Salah, I feel he put the community together.
To those who worship with him.
I think he's running down the wing in the mosque as well.
From the shadows of Anfield.
That's right, come and take a look at here now. £4 on the Mo Salah masks here. Who wants to be a king, even if it's just for one day?
To the pyramids of Egypt.
دورنا الناس الحلوة خالص والله محمد صلاح.
So, where to begin the story? Perhaps it starts here at Anfield with Liverpool's final game of the Premier League season. Liverpool need to beat Brighton and Hove Albion to make sure of Champions League football next year.
Alexander-Arnold attacks from a central area, finds Solanke, tries to thread it through. Salah! It had to be Mohamed Salah!
That voice announcing Mohamed Salah's goal over the ground's loudspeakers is that of George Sefton. In 1971, he wrote to the club applying for a job to be the stadium announcer on match days, and more than 46 years later, he's still here.
I was brought up to be a Liverpool fan. My father had a trial for Liverpool in 1923. He was a big strapping centre forward, and it was just a red family. I started going about a fortnight after Shankly arrived by absolute coincidence. I suddenly had money to go and people to go with from school who I still see to this day, which was odd. And once you've been inside Anfield, you are hooked.
There is a different response to you saying the name of the scorer, depending on who scores the goal.
Yeah.
How would you categorise the response when you say, and the scorer of the goal, Mo Salah?
It's a different level. The volume has accelerated as the season's gone on. This whole season, his first season, It hasn't been a roller coaster, it's been a landslide. His popularity has grown exponentially as the season's gone on, so every goal now, they go crazy. Lately, when Mo's scored, I've been turning the volume up higher than I normally would, just because the whole thing of him scoring goals is becoming an addiction to the crowd. People just come to see him now, I swear they do.
When you see the players celebrate their goals, players celebrate in different ways. Peter Crouch had that bizarre dance. And Salah, he's very unassuming in the way that he does it. Very early in the season, I don't remember him getting down on the ground and prostrating himself. When you saw him doing that, and when you saw him praying, what did you think?
I was quite taken aback at the time, because obviously it was something we weren't expecting. But I thought, well, he's going through some sort of little religious ritual. Good on him. Over a period of time, the entire population have taken him to their hearts. I've never known a striker be so popular. Everybody loves him.
Has it changed your views on Muslims?
It's like everything else. The word Muslim has been abused in the last few years. People just associate the word terrorist with the word Muslim, which is completely wrong. He has done so much good for community relations. He's made people think twice about what their perception of Islam is. We need a few more like him, but at the moment, as I say, I think after they made him, they threw away the mould. He's just a permanent ray of sunshine. It's just a blessing just to have him here. Again, the same words, thank you. Just thank you for coming here.
What George says stuck with me, because he's right. Salah has changed the way that people think. And that's extraordinary, because this is a guy who grew up travelling on a bus for hours every day from his hometown of Negrigg in the north of Egypt just to train. Whose career as a footballer, frankly, stuttered from Egypt to Switzerland to London to Florence and Rome and on to Liverpool. But when he arrived here, something happened. On the pitch, Salah was a phenomenon. He became the first player to be named Professional Footballers Association Player of the Month 3 times in one season. He was the African Player of the Year, the Premier League's Player of the Season. He was in the PFA Team of the Year. He won the Player of the Year award from both football writers and other players. And he won the Golden Boot for most goals scored in one Premier League season. But it was the reaction of the fans that I remember.
If he's good enough for you, he's good enough for me. He's good enough for you, then I'll be Muslim too.
Incredibly, they're singing about his religion. If he's good enough for you, he's good enough for me. If he scores another few, then I'll be Muslim too. The next verse goes on, sitting in a mosque, that's where I want to be. Now, what do you make of that? After the game between Liverpool and Brighton, I came down the road here to see David Farley, a cradle-to-grave Liverpool supporter, and his mum Emily. David's dad was born in a flat overlooking the Kop, and now his uncle owns a pub opposite Anfield.
This is our home. It's covered in flags, banners, posters, scarves, Mo Salah faces now. We've got a neon "You'll Never Walk Alone" sign, which lights up obviously in the dark when we switch it on. We've got a couple of Mo Salah flags, scarves, Jurgen Klopp scarves, a couple of Jurgen Klopp flags as well. Big LFC emblem with the 2 lava birds on, Liverpool flag, quite huge one really. Roberto Firmino, Sadio Mane, Mo Salah, 6 foot cardboard cutouts. He's got his new crown, which came in the post a couple of days ago. We've managed to squeeze it on.
When you come in at night, isn't it a bit spooky that you see these 6 foot footballers outside your house?
Bring them in the night.
Yeah.
Why'd you have to bring them in at the night?
Oh, someone might rob them. No, we'll bring them in.
Yeah.
You come in and go in the back kitchen and frighten the life out of him when he comes home from work.
When he signed, what were you expecting?
I was hopefully expecting just an improvement of his days at Chelsea. I mean, wasn't really expecting much more of him. Hopefully we could just get a little bit more out of him, but he's far exceeded anybody's expectation.
When was it that you started to think, hang on, something special's happening?
When he basically started scoring every game he played, and it was just like, it was a given. Everybody started sitting up then, taking notice of him and thinking it's obviously people expected it to stop or slow down, or it was a little good run of form, but He's just continued and continued. That's when people start really taking notice of him.
There's something different about him as well, in that he seems like a nice guy, and that doesn't really fit in with our image of footballers, especially nowadays.
He's a people's person. That's what he seems to be. Because he's been to the gym, the local chippy, the pub. I said, you never know, he might come in and have a cup of tea.
For the decade before he came, Britain had been under attack from various things. Had that caused problems for Muslim people, do you think? What had happened?
I think it must have caused a lot of people some issues, but I think everything you see on the news, all the bad sides of Muslim, and that's just what we see. It's what we've been shown, and you can't help but have that opinion. You know, all the attacks and stuff, local attacks, Manchester, stuff like that. You know, that's just what sort of sticks in your mind because that's what you see.
But now, 12 months on from a very obvious show of faith.
A Liverpool God, I think.
Oh, yeah.
You can't see him as anything different. You can't see him as he's just a goal-scoring machine, I think, and he's improved our team a lot.
And it's not just the Liverpool faithful. Salah has broken down other boundaries too. After all, this is a city divided. You're either a red, meaning a Liverpool supporter, or a blue, meaning you're a fan of their great rivals, Everton. The two stadiums are just a 4-minute walk from each other, divided by a stretch of parkland.
Stanley Park is probably the home of football in this city.
Dave Kelly is from the Blue Union Everton supporters group. I asked him about their great rival's star player.
I think most Evertonians would be envious of having someone of his calibre on our books. He's been a breath of fresh air. I remember watching on social media about the Egyptian kings and we all want to be Muslims, and seeing how excited the Muslim community was about it and about him.
Also with me in Stanley Park was Ian Byrne from the Spirit of Shankly Liverpool Supporters Union. I asked him what he thought when the team signed Salah.
When he came, it wasn't with any great expectation. We spent £30-odd million on a player that hadn't gone down too well at Chelsea but resurrected his career in Italy. So when August come and he was in the first team, I didn't know what to expect. I wasn't really expecting to say great things.
I was just hopeful that Liverpool had wasted another £30-odd million. I will always look across Stanley Park and hope that every player they sign is an abject failure. Why would it be any other way?
You forget about where he's from. That doesn't matter. He's just a fantastic footballer, isn't he? But then, as you know, you see him drop to his knees and do what he does when he scores and give thanks to what he believes in. And slowly that permeates, doesn't it? That sort of thing permeates, and then people start questioning, what is Mo Salah? My two sons have said the same. What's Mo Salah? What does he believe in? What religion does he follow? And it's an education process. And because he's such a positive model, you can see he's just a real decent human being. And the stories what we hear about what he does in Egypt charms is what we believe in community-wise. I just think he's a decent human being who's also a wonderful football player.
Football fans often get accused of lots of things, particularly of them being racist and Islamophobes and everything else. I genuinely have always believed if you've got a centre forward who's black and knocking 30 or 40 goals a season in, he stops being black, he starts being your player in blue or your player in red. I don't particularly feel that the vast majority of supporters look upon Mo Salah as being a Muslim. They look upon him as being a role model, but an incredibly gifted and talented footballer.
Dave and Ian introduced me to a friend of theirs, Amira Scarisbrick. She's a Muslim woman who they met through a food bank that they run in the city. 3 people, different religions, different loyalties, but all of them united by the respect for Salah.
I love him with all my heart, and I want my son to grow like him. He's what, you hope for, and he's, making such an impact on the pitch, off the pitch, for our faith. He's given us our confidence back as Muslims, because we've had such a battering. Our youth are desperate, for people like that. We need those sort of role models, and we need hope in what is quite a dark world, and he is a beacon of light for us in Liverpool and worldwide, I think.
Mo Salah doesn't talk about his faith much. In fact, when he does interviews, he tends to only talk about football. But his faith's really important to him. We've come down to his mosque in the Wavetree area of Liverpool. It's a low, single-storey building. It's very unmosque-like. There's no minaret. And it's quite unassuming. And we're here to meet the Imam.
Outside of football, he's a jolly guy. He's quite down to earth, and he just likes to joke and likes to smile. He wants to make people happy.
Shafiq is the Imam of the Liverpool Mosque and Islamic Institute.
The way the Muslim community look at it is just another mosque where everyone's praying to God. But the wider community, the non-Muslim community, the neighbours especially, they have great pride in Salah is coming to their local mosque, and they can see him through their back window or through their front window. They can see Salah coming and going, and a lot of them also stand outside and ask for photos and ask for autographs, and Salah does it.
Does it change your relationship with the club?
I'm a lot more passionate, and when the songs are going around, I don't really know a lot of the songs, but I do try to join in wherever I can, and the one that I know and the one that's easiest to remember is just Salah running down the wing. But I do participate in making whatever noise needs to be made just to get the team going.
There is another song as well, this one.
If he's good enough for you, he's good enough for me. He's sitting in a mosque, that's where I want to be. Mo Salah.
This is the song about non-Muslims wanting to come to mosque if he scores another goal. What do you think of that when you hear that song?
They've taken the first step, and they've said if he scores another goal, if he's in the mosque, that's where I want to be. They've taken the first step in saying that. We're going to take the second step and say they're most welcome anytime. Whoever wants to come in, the mosque doors here at the Liverpool Mosque Islamic Institute will be fully open for them, and I personally will be waiting for them.
Do you feel more welcome when you go to Liverpool now?
Yes, of course, and I think also what's helped that is whichever manager over the past couple of years has been in charge of Liverpool, they have had quite a lot of Muslim first-team players. Kolo Toure was a Muslim, Ali Sissoko was a Muslim, Emre Can's a Muslim, Mamadou Sakho was a Muslim, Sadio Mane is a Muslim, Mo Salah is a Muslim. They're getting Naby Keita, he's a Muslim. There's rumours going around about Nabil Fekir, he's a Muslim. So that's 8-9 players, in a squad of 11 who are Muslims. So everyone's accepted them, and I think the Liverpool fans have made it very clear, no matter what religion you follow, or no matter where you come from in the world, if you're playing for Liverpool, if you've got the Liverpool top on, we're all in it together, and we're all part of one big family.
Right, I'm looking around now. This is where you get 300, 400 people in here. Where does Mo Salah stand?
Wherever he gets space. When it comes to prayer, it's just when we stand in prayer, everyone's the same in the eyes of God, whether someone's rich or poor or famous or non-famous. So that's why Mo Salah will do exactly the same what somebody else is doing who's just a normal person.
Come on, you say everyone's the same in the eyes of God, but I'm talking about the neighbours that are standing next to him. What's that relationship like?
Of course, people make space next to them because they want him to come and stand next to them so that it's easy for them to take a selfie. He's been coming so many times, and every time he comes, he's in a different place. So once I saw him here, once I saw him there, once I saw him here.
That's the problem with him as a player as well, isn't it? He's everywhere. He just goes wherever he wants.
I think he's running down the wing in the mosque as well.
I'm struggling. What's the difference? What's the magical thing that he has that other players haven't had?
It's his goals, Goals speak for themselves.
He tries to thread it through. Salah! It had to be Mohamed Salah, who, with a left-footed finish, finds the bottom right-hand corner to set a new record.
Yes? Mohammed. Can you write Salah?
Salah.
Do you know Mohamed Salah?
Yeah.
Do you like him?
It's not just the boundaries between different faiths that Salah's helped break down, but between different nationalities as well. On Saturday mornings, hundreds of people meet here at the Arabic school in Toxteth in Liverpool. They're Egyptian, Somali, Syrian, Yemeni, Iraqi, from right across the Middle East, but all of them united by one thing.
Muhammad is different. He came 2 in 1. He's an Arab as well as a Muslim.
I'm proud, I've seen people from all over the Arab world, from all over different countries, from Morocco to Oman, saying we also follow Liverpool just because of Mohamed Salah.
It feels like I'm not the only one. It feels like I'm not different. It feels like anything can happen right now in my future.
You can feel Mohamed Salah name now everywhere in Liverpool. Mohamed Salah, I feel he put the community together.
Mohamed Salah, ya Najd.
The famous Yemeni song about a love song about describing somebody that is worth waiting for and worth spending time with. And they tweaked it to look at Mohamed Salah.
Mohamed Salah make me very proud and brave, because now when I walk in the street, they will say, look, she is Muslim like Mohamed Salah. They will not push me because they think if they will push me or say something against me, they maybe this is message for Mohamed Salah wives too.
I'm proud. I'm Egyptian like him. I am that type like Mo Salah. I am this guy. As a Muslim, as an Arab, as an Egyptian.
I think what Salah's done is what John Barnes did for the black community in the 80s.
Steve Rotherham is the mayor of the Liverpool City region and a Liverpool fan himself.
He's starting to break down barriers, isn't he? You know, for Liverpool fans, and some of them probably don't fully appreciate the songs that they sing about Mo Salah, but to have that breakdown of Islamophobia caused through one person is an absolute phenomenal achievement.
But then, was there ever a moment when you as politicians went, hang on, actually, he's onto something and he's having a reaction here and it's starting to build something?
Absolutely. I think once people look that we're Scousers, so there's always an inherent aspect of humour in those sorts of songs. His legacy will be much more about what's happened off the field, as I say, as well as what's happened on the pitch. That sort of breakdown in people's understanding of politics and football and religion. Sometimes people say that them things don't mix, and of course, when they do, and they have on this occasion, that can be a real powerful good that comes out of it. And I think that's what's happened with Mo Salah being part of the Liverpool family.
Salah himself seems to avoid this kind of discussion, at least in public. Interviewed on stage at the Professional Footballers Association after receiving their Player of the Year award, he seemed to want to deflect attention away from himself.
I'm very happy about the award. I'm very happy for my teammates, for what we are doing in the Premier League and also in the Champions League. You know, first of all, I play for the team, and you can see that I give many assists, and I play for my team, not just for myself. But you know, I had a chance to thank my teammates and the coaches and everyone in the club for make that happen now. And honestly, without my teammates, without the way we play, and the players helped me a lot to be here now, and they give me a ball a lot to score goals. And we take it game by game, and I'm very happy and I'm very comfortable about that. And I think we will do our best to win the Champions League.
Despite his modesty, Salah is flying high. Ahead of him lie the biggest games of his life, playing for Egypt in the World Cup, but first, Liverpool are in the Champions League final. Millions will be watching. Everyone expects him to change the course of both.
4 minutes to go then until kick-off here at the Olympic Stadium in Kiev.
And he does.
Salah's gone down.
Yeah.
That doesn't look too good. He's got a blow in the face, I think.
Shoulder? Yeah, he's holding his left shoulder. Look, he's fell on it. It was the way he went down. Salah fell very awkwardly.
I hope it's not dislocated.
Liverpool lose the Champions League final. Salah has been brought crashing down to earth. There is, however, one more chapter to this story. With the World Cup upon us, Salah surely will have a chance at redemption, if he can recover in time. After the news, we travel to Egypt. Join me to find out what happens next.